Beautiful Lagos, hey. Land of mercy, land of success, oh. For Lagos, everything is done change, oh. I say Governor Body is doing a great job, oh. Street lights all over Lagos, oh. It's bringing out the beauty in Lagos, oh.
Hello and thanks for joining us on Lagos This Week, where we showcase the activities of Governor Akinwumi Ambode, members of his cabinet, development partners at home and abroad. I'm Funke Adesoji. In tonight's program, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Monday swore in 5 members of the State Executive Council with a charge of them to hit the ground running and offer only the best of services to the people. We have these details. On security, Governor Ambode vows to scale up support for military operations in the state. And Lagos moves against bureaucracy, complacency among civil servants as it launches advocacy to a gender growth mindset in public service. These and other stories in a moment.
What kind of food is this? You this woman!
My husband like to chop food with sweets. You know one bring money, oh. If I cook the food, that's the money reach. Hey, see me see wahala.
My own husband no say food was sweet. Na money kill am. Na plenty money I dey take go market to cook better chop. But today, Ishonde, rishi we dey take chop oh. My darling no say food way sweet oh. Na money kill am oh.
Yes, so now true word you talk, my sister. Food way sweet, na money kill am. This na why Lagos State government they call every businessman and woman, plus including all workers for Lagos State, to join hand with our Dokunadu governor Akinwumi Ambode to continue to share all these better things when we dey see so by paying your tax quick and all the time. People of Lagos State, una dey see the good work wey Governor Akinwumi Ambode don brekete everywhere for Lagos. Yes, now because he dey use the tax money wey some of us wey understand dey pay. Therefore, if everybody join hand with am and pay our tax, money go boku to make Lagos State great and life go sweet for we all as we want am. Abeg, make we pay our tax today because food wey sweet na money kill am o.
Welcome back. We begin tonight's show with swearing in of 5 members of the State Executive Council by Governor Ambode with a charge of them to hit the ground running and offer only the best of services to the people. Speaking at the brief swearing ceremony held at the Lagos State Executive Council chamber in Alausa Ikeja, Governor Ambode said the new cabinet members were appointed based on their track records of expertise and experience, and as such, they must immediately settle down in office and inject new ideas to reinvigorate and re-energize government machinery to the overall benefit of the people. Addressing the appointees, Governor Ambode said their immediate mandate is to see to the completion of all ongoing projects and activation of new ones to make life better and comfortable for the people. Specifically, Governor Ambode asked them to be mindful of the fact that the greatest society of his administration is the goodwill of the people. The governor also said making Lagos work for all was a 24-hour job which requires selfless service, hard work, dedication and uncompromising focus on the improvement of lives of all residents. The newly appointed cabinet members are Commissioner for Science and Technology, Hakeem Pham, Commissioner for Transportation, Ladi Lawanson, Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Shegun Banjo, Commissioner for Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, Olayinka Oladunjoye, and Special Advisor on Communities and Communications, Hakeem Sulaiman.
We are delighted to welcome on board the newly sworn-in members of the State Executive Council. You are joining a winning team of committed professionals and politicians who have been working around the clock for the past 32 months to make Lagos functional, efficient, and a haven for business, tourism, entertainment, and sports. This is not to say that we have arrived at our desired destination. There's still a lot of work to be done in order to achieve the desired vision of Lagos we all want to see live and work in.
Responding on behalf of others, Oladunjoye thanked Governor Ambode, promising that they will key into the vision and mission of government and offer nothing but their best.
As you settle down to your new assignments, I demand nothing but the best from you. Your immediate task as you hit the ground running is to quickly bring yourself up to speed with the mandate of your various ministries and key into the immediate priority for this year, which is the completion of all ongoing projects. This, however, does not preclude the initiation of new projects that are considered highly essential and critical to the general well-being of our people. It is my expectation that you will bring to bear your knowledge, expertise, and experience on the mandate of the ministries to which you have been assigned and the overall vision of this administration.
Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has expressed the readiness of his administration to support and scale up the operation of the Nigerian Army against kidnapping, smuggling, armed robbery, illegal oil bunkering and other security challenges in the state. Speaking at Lagos House in Alausa, Ikeja, when he received the new General Officer commanding 81 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Enobong Okonudo, on cursive visit, Governor Ambode said though a lot has been achieved in securing the state in the last 32 months, the state government will nonetheless continue to support military operations designed to ensure residents go about their social and economic activities without hindrance. The governor said, as a government, security has been the major pillar of his administration, upon which the economic growth of the state was built, adding that he remained committed to sustaining the successes recorded so far.
Lagos being a cosmopolitan state, it requires that we have to ensure that security is kept 24/7. And judging from the performance of all the security agencies that we've had in Lagos in the last 32 months, I'm very, very optimistic that you will not only come to Lagos to sustain the successes that we have made, you are likely and probably going to enhance the security apparatus in Lagos. And that's why we're very comfortable and confident to receive you, that you will do a very good job in Lagos.
According to him, he welcomes the idea to set up a new army unit that will tackle issues that relate to kidnapping, smuggling and all other vices plaguing the state and its people. He expressed optimism that the new army chief would immediately join in the efforts to build on past successes and enhance security in the state.
And I welcome the idea that you also want to set up new units that tackle issues that relate to kidnapping, smuggling and all the vices that we have. I'm also very excited that we will soon have the presence of the army in most of those areas that we're having trouble spots, Ikorodu, Ekpe. And then, we take security down. There's already a division in Badagry, obviously. So I just believe strongly that with the collaboration that we are renewing this month, I believe strongly that Lagosians are going to be more beneficial in whatever it is that we're doing here. Because with the security apparatus in the right place and at the right time, I think everybody can go about their economic and social activities, and then we'll have a peaceful year ahead of us.
Earlier, the GOC commended the governor for the massive support extended to security agencies, in particular the Nigerian Army, in preventing and combating crimes in the state. He sought further assistance of the governor in areas of operational vehicles, facelift for military formations in the state, and support for special teams already set up to combat illegal oil bunkering, kidnapping, cultism, among others.
Inadequate office accommodation, we have that challenge seriously. Inadequate residential accommodation for officers posted to the division. We have urgent need to construct transit accommodation for both the officers and the soldiers. In fact, we will still need vehicular support from Your Excellency, and of course, some platforms that will enable us to operate well on the waterways. The situation of the creeks in Lagos State is unique. They are very shallow, and we need something like airports, hovercrafts, and so on to be able to maneuver in these creeks here.
Responding to some of the requests for collaboration and assistance for the Nigerian Army, Governor Ambode commended all the security agencies in the state and restated his commitment to support them to ensure security of lives and property. Lagos State Government has inaugurated a special advocacy campaign to engender growth mindset among civil servants and imbue them with the right skills and attitude to contribute to the efforts to fast-track development and set the state on the path of sustainable and inclusive growth. Speaking at the press brief held at the Bagoda Kautu Press Center in Alawusa, the State Commissioner for Establishment, Training and Pensions, Dr. Akintola Benson Oke, said the advocacy, which will initially last between 3 and 6 months, will be deployed to fight recidivism, complacency, and all forms of attitude that tend to delay progress and development in the civil service. The strategy is to develop a mindset which the state is set to adopt to ensure excellent service delivery to the public. This, the Commissioner said, will shape attitudes, behavior, habits, and ultimately have desired impact on the behavior of Lagos State public service.
Had it been that Lagos State is a country on its own, Lagos State today would have been playing a very significant role in the polity of the African state. For the government that's aiming, that come 2023, that is ready to catapult the economy of Lagos State from being the 5th to the 3rd largest economy, it speaks volumes. It shows that the complacency nature of this present public servant will not be able to yield to the desired role through leadership transformational agenda, so that they can decide on what policies will achieve.
Other speakers gave insight into the initiative.
We are proceeding on 2 tracks, the training track and the communications track. The training track is meant to make sure that civil servants are trained in those skills that the other commissioner has mentioned, that will enable them to have the right capacity and the right attitude to take a different view of their service, to change their perception and perspective of what they're supposed to do, and therefore give them a more proactive, progressive attitude towards the customers that we are going to meet. The point basically is that government is a service center.
Lagos State government is actually moving from your standard mega city. We are actually an emerging smart city. And if we are an emerging smart city, it basically means that we need to actually develop public servants of the 21st century. Public servants that have all the necessary skills to be able to actually challenge the status quo and provide solutions and bring new ideas to the table.
It is the belief here that with this new move, Lagos State is set to move with the global trend and ensuring an improved standard of service delivery aimed at serving the citizens. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Thursday signed 7 important bills into law, among which is the law to guarantee 24-hour power supply in line with the vision to attain a 24-hour economy and make the state globally competitive. The laws are Lagos State Electric Power Reform Law amended, Land Use Charge Law, School of Nursing Law, Cooperative College Law, Cancer Research Institute Law amended, Customary Court Law, and the Yoruba Language Preservation and Promotion Law. Speaking on the importance of the new laws, the state's Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeniji Kazeem, said the development signposts the commencement of the journey to further advance the dividends of democracy. Giving details on the benefits of the power sector reform law, the State Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Olawale Oluwo, said the law would allow the state government to intervene in major areas of the power value chain to the overall benefit of the people. On other laws, the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Kehinde Gbamigbeto, said they aptly confirmed the commitment of Governor Ambode to institutionalize and enshrine good governance.
The governor has signed those 7 bills into law. This marks the end of the legislative process. It also shows that our House of Assembly is in complete sync with the executive, and they're working in tandem. It also shows that Lagos State is working. These laws are going to benefit the good people of Lagos State, and this is what people are looking for in terms of dividends of democracy.
This provides the legal framework for the implementation of a program that will eventually see Lagos through to a 24-hour economy in terms of electricity. Now, the major components of the law are this. It empowers the government, now that it is a law of the state, to be able to do intervention in 6 major areas of the power sector. That is the value chain. Number 1, it puts the government in a position to be able to extend our guarantee to private sector participants who will come and generate this power for us. And by this guarantee, it means that we are putting the balance sheet of our state on the table and assuring investors that as we generate this light, you will get paid. The second area of intervention which this law empowers us to do is to help the distribution companies to upgrade their infrastructure, because if you generate the power and their infrastructure is still where it is today, I mean, clearly it doesn't have the capacity to carry the incremental power. The third area of intervention is it empowers us to be able to open up the gas market in Lagos so that we can have gas supply on a consistent basis, and that's the only way we can sustain the 24 hours power supply.
Among the bills is also the amended customary court bill. Now that bill is very important because for a long time the customary court system in the local government has been shut down because of the bill. With this revision, the customary courts in local government will breathe back to life, and that means that many of the activities of local government which require arbitration and dispute resolution, which has been in abeyance so far, will now come back in full steam. So it's a contribution to the smooth running of the judicial sector in our local government.
Now on traffic laws and regulations, Chairman of the Lagos State Task Force, Olayinka Egbeyemi, has re-emphasized the state's zero tolerance for violation of traffic and other road signs in the metropolis, stating that offenders caught will forfeit their cars and charged to court. This is coming on the heels of vehicles and commercial motorcycles apprehended running against the traffic at Adekule Fajuri and Railway Road in the Shogule area of Ikeja GRA, Lagos. It was a showdown between the state task force and vehicle owners who resisted arrest, as many of the offenders had their number plates confiscated at the scene. The state task force chairman, SP Egbeyemi, who led the operation, said it's high time the 2012 Lagos traffic law was fully implemented.
This board has been here for over 15 years. It's a no entry sign. Like that means if you enter that line, you are facing an upcoming vehicle, which is one way. And behold, there's a railway track at that side that if people coming from Oshodi to Agege, by the time you face them, you are going to face upcoming. You block that place, there will be gridlock. And last week, a moving train almost run into some vehicles that must have cost some people's lives. And we just have things to do. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Imoyemi Ega, I said that anything illegality, whether traffic or crime, we don't want to have it in Lagos State. And that's why he has directed that the Lagos State Task Force should take charge of this point. That anybody driving against one way or against upcoming vehicle should be arrested.
The car owners who spoke with STV News explained why they fell victim of the traffic law.
Why did you have to enter, sir?
Because of the congestion.
Congestion.
In fact, I have been there. I have been on other lane.
Yes, sir.
I saw it very congested. I had to turn back. The devil
face one way.
The devil pushed me back.
No, guys, about devil. Excuse me, sir. What you are doing, sir? There's a railway track there.
You've said it.
And people were coming. They will be coming from Oshodi to enter GRA. Yeah. What you do is you face them. Last week, train almost ran into.
I've never passed this place.
You saw no entry sign there, didn't you see it?
I see that. They say by 6 o'clock. Say the vehicle.
Is there anything like by 6 o'clock? Who told you by 6 o'clock? Where did you hear that information?
That's the thing they normally talk.
I heard somebody saying anything from 6. It has been going. Okay, for quite some time. It has been on. This is where
because you have been doing this thing illegal, all these illegal acts for long, and there is nobody to arrest you. That doesn't mean it's.
If we've been passing here anything after 6, no. I want to understand. Or 6 o'clock, sir.
Is there any place you've seen any inscription of 6 p.m. there?
There's no 6 p.m. So but we have policemen. Traffic warden. They are supposed to be the one to instruct and stop vehicles. I don't want to believe they assault them. They are with weapons and they pass here every day.
According to the task force chief, offenders will be charged to court and made to face the consequences.
Stage 1 is breaking of that law. Stage 2 is you getting arrested. Stage 3, we'll move you to our office. Stage 4, charge you to court. Let the court now decide.
Also on traffic management, the directive of the Lagos State government ordering local government traffic officials to vacate roads in the state and desist from controlling and enforcing traffic laws is still very much in force. Thus, according to the General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, Olawale Musa. He was addressing motorists and commuters at the agency's head office in Oshodi, who had come to complain about the excessive activities of local government traffic officials who operate in Mufti.
From His Excellency the Governor, because of the insistent complaint by members of the public of harassment, extortion by these so-called local government traffic officers. So we just needed to retreat it because it became something out of the norm that people started calling us, reporting us, and they confused them with LASTMA officials. So it became an issue, especially when they are non-uniform, and there is arbitrariness in when they tell you that they are charging you for the offense that you did. It's not according to the dictates of the road traffic law. So we just needed to let the people know that the only organization allowed by the state government to control traffic and impound vehicles for offences is the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, and we urge members of the public to resist any attempt by unscrupulous elements under the guise of local government officials trying to extort them. They should resist it in totality.
What kind of food is this? You, this woman!
My husband loves a good life, but hates to pay for it. In my despair, he gives me all the blame. Oh, I have a loving husband who knows good things cost money. He gives enough to help me make nice meals. So I make my darling happy when it's time to take his meal, giving smiles to my lovely family.
It costs good money to get the good things of life and for government to provide the much needed infrastructure we all in Lagos State so much crave for. It is an offense not to pay tax. The people are happy with the various efforts of the government to making life better for citizens through the many landmark infrastructure everywhere you go in Lagos State. If you own a business or work in Lagos, it's your duty to pay your tax as and when due. Help Lagos State serve you better. This message is from Lagos State Internal Revenue Service.
The Lagos State government said it has released a sum of 5.563 billion naira to contractors to flag off the construction of the 181 roads spread across the 20 local government and 37 local council development areas in the state. In a statement by the State Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Engineer Ade Akinsoya, the government said the construction of the 181 council roads was in fulfillment of the promise of Governor Akinwumi Ambode to open up more inner roads across the state following the successful delivery of the 114 roads in September 2016. Against this backdrop, the chairman of Yaba Local Council Development Area called for support and cooperation of residents of that axis to ensure a seamless project completion.
The kind of project we are doing is people-based project. So people must know what is happening in their community. They must know who is coming to their community to come and work. So we want to, it's a kind of synergy between the government and the people within the community. So that's the purpose. Sometimes you'll be hearing people when the type of this project is going on. We don't even know when the government is coming. We don't know when they are going to end. We don't know. So we don't want that. We want people to because this is a project. It's the people that use it. So they are going to monitor, to supervise the contractors. Wherever they see any observation, they come to us and we quickly rectify it.
We have been given 6 months for the completion of the project, and by the special grace of God, we will round it up before the time, because as a company, as an organization, we also have an integrity to protect. And as you can see, the youth leader have promised us that he's going to cooperate with us. Since there is peace, I don't think we'll have any challenge. So we'll deliver within the time frame being given to us, and we'll do a very good work.
Finally on the program, we bring you excerpts from the Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Steve Ayoride. He spoke about the first Lagos State Tourism Summit, plans of the ministry and more.
Well, coming up this year, for the first time ever, a tourism master plan, which will be preceded by the Lagos State Tourism Summit in April. We're saying that for the first time ever, let us bring all the airgates, everybody involved in the business of tourism. It is business without a doubt. There is show in it, but there is also business in it, which is why the entertainment component of tourism is called show business. But we don't want to emphasize one at the expense of the other. That's why you have the show. We'll also talk business. So the summit will look into the areas that have been neglected in the past. What can the government do? How can we work a lot more closely with those who are in the tourism business? And two key words that you will hear from us this year, one, sustainable tourism, And secondly, virtual tourism. Virtual tourism will simply deal with the promotions of everything tourism, digitally, on the internet, on the web, on social media. Everything that you will look forward to see when you come here, we want you to experience them on, on the internet. So watch out for the official website of Lagos State Tourism. It will be Lagos Tourism. Watch out for so many things that will come on board this year. And as I said, with the 3 key things that we're doing, the Tourism Summit, the master plan that will be delivered by the end of May, and ultimately the Lagos State Tourism Promotion Council. It will be a new Lagos, it will be a better Lagos as far as entertainment and the creative economy are concerned.
It's bringing out the beauty in Lagos.
And this is how far we can go on the show tonight. Do join us next week for another package. Thanks for watching. I'm Funke Adesoji. Good night.
Land of mercy, land of success. For Lagos, everything is done change. I say Governor Body is doing a great job. Street lights all over Lagos.